The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
The time that Elon Musk and Donald Trump were having their public, ugly, messy divorce yesterday, top MAGA podcaster Joe Rogan was interviewing none other than Donald Trump's FBI director, Katt Patel. And both of them learned about the ugly eruption between Musk and Trump while they were having the podcast. And I want you to see, it's hilarious. Both Rogan and especially Patel are blown away. And Katt Patel is freaking out and says he cannot talk about it. He will not talk about it.
Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
you will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
Joe Rogan just stepped into the chat and backed Katt Williams up about the wild things he said about Trump and Diddy. This comes after Elon Musk got on the internet and accused Trump of being on the Epstein list. He said the reason Trump's administration has been working overtime to keep those documents sealed and vaulted is because Trump was on that list too, and they don't want it to come out because it could lead to him getting impeached and even thrown in jail. Not only that, but he could even possibly get most of his assets seized if he's found guilty. The crazy thing is that Trump wasn't just getting dirty with Diddy, he was also involved with Diddy, and he was shameless enough to pose up in photos with those two men as if they weren't touching kids and singing people left, right, and center. Katt Williams and Joe Rogan shocked the internet when Katt appeared on his podcast and spilled major tea about the Illuminati and how most of these celebrities, aka Trump and Diddy, indulged themselves with Epstein in order to touch on kids. Katt did this podcast right after his Club Shay Shay interview, and we all know he didn't have the best things to say about Diddy, in that either he straight up told people that Diddy is the demon of the industry and that in order for young men to save their dignity, they have to say no to his party invites. If not, they'll wake up the next day up with their holes all sour from hours long of essay. He also brought up how he tried to warn folks about Harvey Weinstein touching on little people, but they tried to cancel him. He also dragged Chris Tucker through hell for being on Epstein Island along with Diddy and Trump.
Big deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light. They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get
I told him no. What y'all do? The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey. If I didn't know no better, I'd tell you he's the greatest. I don't care what you say. To be confident and not delusional is a real skill.
Now, going back to that interview Katt did with Joe Rogan, he didn't hold back at all. He said the reason why people like Epstein were able to get away with the crimes they did for that long is because they were being protected by powerful people who were also benefiting from the things they were doing. And we all know this is true because Epstein was messing with Trump and Diddy, and those two men have enough power to protect him for as long as they can, because they were also getting something from him. I mean, why else will they be at his island and get photographed with him, knowing very well what he was getting up to?
Like characters have existed throughout history, whether they were kings or what, like human beings are human beings universally. So everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment not existed throughout.
At the time, folks knew Katt was onto something, but they weren't very sure the exact people he was trying to accuse of being mixed up with Diddy till recently, when Elon Musk got into it with Trump and accused him of being on the Epstein list. Trump and Elon started feuding a few days ago, when Trump passed the new bill basically telling electric vehicle companies like Elon's Tesla that they were no longer a priority. The bill removed the reduced electric vehicle tax credits to give more support to companies that produce cars that use fuel instead of green energy, like Tesla. Elon wasn't having any of this, and he went on a long crash-out session on X where he said, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the history of civilization, there has never been legislation that both big and beautiful. Everyone knows this. Either you get a big and ugly bill, or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way child Elon was pressed to the ground. He was out here calling everyone and their mama to help him the bill, as if he isn't one of the reasons Trump is in power in the first place. Like, why are we in the group chat all of a sudden? Trump claims Elon knew about the bill before co-signing him, but Elon said he didn't know, and that if it wasn't for him, Trump wouldn't even win the elections. False. This bill was never shown to me even once, and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress would even read it. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Such ingratitude. And just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, Elon pulled the ultimate petty move when he accused Trump of being part of the Epstein list. He said the reason Trump's administration hadn't put it out was because he doesn't want to go to jail, and that it won't be long before the entire truth comes out. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out right after Elon made this allegation. People started digging into Trump's affiliations with Epstein, and baby Trump was really connected to Epstein. He was all up in all Epstein's parties, looking really comfortable. An audio clip also leaked amidst this back and forth, in which Epstein called Trump his best friend. In the same breath, he also called Trump out for being a bad person and going behind people's backs to destroy them. He said Trump has this thing where he becomes close to someone and then turns around to betray them by going behind their back to do them dirty. It genuinely sounded like he was telling Elon from the past about what Trump would end up doing to him.
He is able to convince people, so he tells everybody what they want to hear.
So how do you know this?
And that was supposed to show you.
He has a sense of humor. It can be funny.
He's right. His ability to sell. It's very much like Clinton. Both Bill and Donald have the ability to go to a good company, fat, ugly woman. So you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So how many are here? Scout Dutch. You stand up. You say, male pattern, there's not even horrible human being. There's nasty cases of best friends, best friends' lives. First Christ came with trust and uses it to benefit.
What's crazy is that Joe Rogan got all the tea about the wild allegations Elon made about Trump being on the Epstein list. Joe found out about it while on live doing an interview with the FBI Director Katt Patel, of all people, and baby, their reaction was priceless. Especially Katt looked freaked out, and Joe also started panicking and even trying to brush it off.
It's going to come up because it's been going on since we've been recording here. Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. And check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago.
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation.
What is
Elon?
Have a nice day, DJT. So much dig his phone.
They're going back and forth about different things.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen,
he said he was disappointed in Elon.
Yeah, he told him to leave.
Jesus Christ, that's a crazy thing to say. How does he know? Does he know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Does he have access to the Epstein files?
I don't know how he would, but I'm just staying out of the Trump-Elon thing. That's way outside my lane.
What the fuck are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
I just don't... I mean, I understand he owns Twitter. I think it's bad for your mental health. I think posting things public all day and arguing with people all day is bad for you.
Katt Patel is FBI director. Katt Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi, his boss, have been the leading Trump figureheads in the Trump administration with respect to the Epstein files. Both of them have talked about, oh, hell yeah, we're going to release it. And they actually had some internal conflict because they are blaming each other. Well, Pam Bondi was blaming Katt Patel's FBI as the reason for the lack of full release of the Epstein files. And they've been certainly dragging their feet on it. Katt Patel would be one of the foremost experts on what are in those files. He ran his mouth about the Epstein files when he was just a right-wing podcaster prior to becoming FBI director. That would have been easy for him to say, hey, listen, I don't want to talk about this too much. All I can say unequivocally is that's just bullshit from Elon. Of course, Donald Trump is not in the Epstein files. And yet, no denial. So I love it. I love to see.
What's interesting about Joe being so quick to brush off what Elon was saying is that just a few months ago, Elon was on his show, and they were discussing how these celebrities were mute when it came to Diddy, but were quick to campaign against Trump. Not once in the interview did Joe call Elon out for trying to put out a narrative, but as soon as it's about Trump now, he's saying Elon's phone should be taken away, child, please.
How many people in the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala?
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes, it's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her.
As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, I love how Katt Patel is like, I don't want nothing to do with what my job actually entails of keeping. Oh my god, so good. Another person said, you could tell Katt was reserved in the things he wanted to say, wish they had a better relationship. So he could have just opened up and talked the way you could tell he wanted. 2. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Joe confirming Pat's allegations about Trump and Diddy? And do y'all think Trump is really being protected from getting exposed for his affiliation to Epstein? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.